Is my stance good, or do I look like?
Yeah, it's kind of a preference. So I'll usually stand with this leg in the front.
Oh, you okay? Really?
That's how when I'm riding.
You get that?
It kind of depends. I mean, it kind of depends on how you ride your horse. Sometimes I'm like this, and sometimes you're over here. It kind of just how it is. Whatever you feel comfortable with, put that leg forward. It's kind of a balance thing.
I kind of feel better this way, and it's maybe because like I will be on the left lead if I'm.
I usually sometimes sit back like this, especially when I'm running quick.
Yeah.
Sit back this way.
All right, I'll try it like that since I got lucky earlier that way. Second in a row, that felt good. So my elbow was better this time. Didn't drop it so much. It's like the. Hey, we definitely need to get me roping. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
All right, see you later. All right, now let's go right the last one. What's up? What did you do? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, well, this one is gonna make anyone feel like a professional horse trainer, I tell you that much. I think more horses have made trainers than trainers have made horses, and this is going to be a horse that's going to make a trainer, because this is probably one of the easiest one we've got in the barn. And to be honest, I didn't expect him to be, but he is a great mover, super self-sustained. We put the saddle on, he never moved. He actually bucked really hard when he first felt the girth, but that was the only time he ever did. After that, he never really did it again, and then he's just been super easy. So he has been having a good... Are you standing on him now? That's pretty cool. Yeah, for his 5th ride. Yeah, right on. Good job. All right, and here we've got another one, and this one is a really nice one. And this one we purchased in the sale at the NRHA Futurity sale at the end of last year. So this one is different. To start, things are going a little faster because he's had at least 6 weeks of handling, from lunging to bathing, and I know where he's from, so I know that the person that actually fitted this horse for the sale did a great job. This is somebody that's a great horseman, and I know that he's had a really good start in that regard. But I don't think it's always the case for the horses that you get through the sale that have been fit in the sale. And I'm very, like in Levi's case, in the other Colt's cases, what I really like is I like to have them fresh out of the pasture. I like to be the first one to do to give them their first experiences as we go. And if you've seen all of my videos about colt starting and the first things that I do with my colts, I talk a lot about, and I title those videos First Interactions, because this is very important to me. And so, but in some cases, it's a very nice horse, and it was a job well done. So then it's just saving me some time, and things move on a little bit faster because they're a little bit more fit. So, but in the case of the little spook that we're going to work next, well, this one we got him through a sale, and I think that he was well fitted for that sale with some people that I know that know what they're doing. And so I don't think that it's that the problem I'm having with him is their doing. I think it's just he's got a little worry there, and it's something that I have to work through. So anyways, let's go and get him, and then we'll take him to the round pen and see what we're dealing with. So we had him tied here for a couple hours before going. I think that it's important that they learn to be patient and stuff like that. But you can see, especially when I come towards his right side there's always that part where he's really worried. I don't know how many times I've done this, but he still always have that worry. So it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to get this one to really trust me and relax. All right, so we'll start in a round pen because there's a few things I want to do in here, and then we're going to take him to the arena to work him. All right, so this guy here is a really nice horse. This is one of my favorites, okay? And this horse has been fitted for a sale, and then when we got him here, he was fairly easy to handle. The help that I had at the time was the one that actually put the first saddles on him and do some of the groundwork, and she actually got to where she could step on him and walk him around, trot him around, and from what I saw, everything looked pretty good. But then she had to go back home, so I took him over from that point on because it's really one of my nicest colts. So maybe second or third day into it, I was doing my flexions here. Everything worked really good. Everything she did was awesome. He wasn't scared of me in any way. And then I started walking, and then I asked him to trot, and then he just came unglued. And I don't know how I managed to stay on, but I did manage to stay on. But I had nothing, and this flexion here is my fail-safe. Okay, so when I've got one that wants to do that, and I feel it coming, I just take them into a flexion, relax them, do some lateral flexions or whatever, bring that energy back down to relax, and then go again. And usually you can make it to those points where the horse is just like, whoa, getting tight, thinking about going somewhere, but you put a stop to it, relax, and then you can always and then you push that line a little bit and a little bit until eventually before you know it, you're loping around, and you manage to do it without allowing the horse to buck. And this is what I want to do. This is my approach. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what. Right away I was like, okay, so I need to do something different here, because obviously with all of the work that he's got, he still came unglued, and then I lost all control. So I need to do something different. And what I think I need to do different is I need to put him in that situation. I need to trigger this, and then somehow be the person of relief. Be the first thing he sees whenever he decides to give to that pressure and relax. And then this is, and I'm the person to have, I may have triggered it, but I'm the person that has actually made everything better all of a sudden. Okay. So and hopefully with going through this a few times, then the next time that he gets into that flight, like fight or flight type of mindset, then he's been in that situation often enough to maybe just reconsider and trust me a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully this is going to help us build a better relationship. The other thing that I like to do is I've got this little pole here. Okay, when I first get on my horses and they're afraid of me, like afraid of my leg or afraid of my hands, and no matter how often I move them and I tell them it's okay and all that, there's always this sudden move that they're afraid of, and then they get tight, and these are the type of moves that sometimes causes them to take off and start bucking. So if I put a pole on here and I teach the horse to just kind of walk over it and be curious about it, and then once I first get on, I use that as my to-do thing, just something to do. Walk over to the pole and walk over it, and then turn around and come back and walk over it again. And then by having something to do like that at first, rather than it just being you and the horse in the round pen and him having, all his concentration on every single one of your movement, looking for an excuse to bolt. All of a sudden, you're no longer the number one point of focus. They've got something else that they can focus on. Hopefully, something they enjoy and find fun, and forget a little bit more about you, and allows you to get through those stages without any problem. So this is a little something I like to do that I'm going to do before taking them to the arena, and then to the arena, we're going to try and trigger that situation that made him go and buck, and see how we can resolve that issue and make him trust us a little bit more as the person to come to for relief. All right, see if we can get him to lunge over it. Okay, so this may seem like nothing, but just being able to go over that pole like that was something that I'm sure that he enjoyed doing. I can see it in his demeanor. He's more relaxed now. He's just because he's had something else to worry about, something to play with, and something to actually feel good about himself for succeeding at. And I've let him know, I've told him, I said, hey, that was cool, okay? And then I could see him right away lick his lip and actually feel good about himself. So those are the little things that I think will make a very big difference in the long run. Okay, so now that this is done, it's time to really address the problem, okay? And so in training my horses, no matter at which level or what I'm doing, I want to be slow with my hands. I want to take the time to show my horses what I want, just like with a horse like him. I want to pet him everywhere, sack him everywhere, do all kinds of things until he relaxes and he's not scared of me doing these things, okay? And I've got him there, but apparently there is some things and some way to trigger something that at this point everything I've worked on goes flat out the window. So I don't feel like I've wasted my time for the past 2-3 weeks, but I feel that there is something that I missed. And what I think that I missed is that I need to trigger this and be the one who gives him relief, okay? So I need to put him in a situation where I really scare the crap out of him and cause him to just really tense up and want to get away from me, and not allow that, but be the person that he needs to come to in order for that, that stress to be relieved. And so I've got a little idea of how we're going to do that. So we'll take him to the main arena and try this and see how it goes. All right, so what I did here is I ran my lead rope through the snaffle, over the head, and snapped it to the other side of the snaffle, okay? This way, if he pulls back and I pull tight against him, it's gonna apply that leverage pressure over his head, but as soon as he releases and comes back towards me, he will, there will be an instant relief of pressure, okay? And so this is what I'm after. And I think that is probably the way to give me a little extra leverage if he pulls really hard, because this is pretty much what's going to be sort of my goal right now, is I want to get him to really brace against that pressure, and I want to not let go of that pressure, continue to apply that pressure until his marbles get back into place and he looks at me again, comes to me, and then the pressure goes away, and all of a sudden I become something that he doesn't need to be scared of. And I want to get to the point where whatever triggers that, I want to get to where I try to trigger it and I can't anymore. Then I know that I'm making progress, okay? So I'm gonna just have him lunge around me. So for sure, you don't want to do this with a young one that hasn't had the basics, and this one I've lunged quite a bit, and I have not, you know, put him in a lot of pressure during lunging, but he knows that this means move your feet, okay? Because it's all about them moving their feet. He knows that if I look this way and look at his hip, he knows to stop and face me, okay? So we've got a lot of things going here. He responds to my voice cues. Okay, so first we'll try without whip. Just gonna back up all of a sudden and pull him towards me. Oh boy. Boy, hey, we got a reaction here, okay? So this is something that was new, something that I hadn't done before, to where I'm leading with me and I'm doing this with. He was like, what do I do? I like that he wants to know, he wants to figure out what he needs to do, but he overreacted a little bit there and he braced hard against my hand. So it was good when he finally got his marbles back together and relaxed, okay? So I'm gonna see if I can trigger this again. So the part of my program here with lunging my young horses that I think is vital in order to be able to accomplish this, and when I mean accomplish this, is what I mean is that no matter how much pressure he's got, that coming forward and getting off that pressure is what he needs to do every time, okay? So whichever situation you're ever going to be in, whether it's loading one in a trailer or doing anything like that, and that when the horse gets scared, all of a sudden they want to pull away from you, okay? And I cannot stand that feeling. For me, it feels like I don't trust you, okay? And that is the last emotion I want coming from my horses. I want my horses to trust me, okay? But sometimes, if you never put them in that situation and be the one to actually give them relief, to know that they can come to you when they are in that situation, then it's going to be a new thing, and it's going to be something that they won't really know how to handle, and this is when accidents can happen, okay? This is how almost a pretty bad accident happened to me the other day, okay, because I neglected to do that, okay? So I'm going to try the same thing I did again. So I'm doing my routine here. I'm going to send them into the stop him. Good boy. Good boy. And I'm going to lead him with me. Good boy. I liked that he was trying to figure out what to do, but he pulled very hard on me there for a second, and so I need him to trust me a whole lot more than that. No matter what happens, he needs to not pull back away from me. So we're going to try it one more time until we can't cause that to happen. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Got to go down to the basics a little bit. Okay, so now he's tied, so I'm going to bring that pressure back down. Get his energy back under control. Boy. All right. So this seems to be a lot better now. I think he understands that I'm not trying to hurt him. Good boy. All right. So we're going to try the same thing, but step it up a little bit by doing it facing him rather than facing away from him. So that may be a little different. Boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, I think that that's enough for today. Now I think that it's very important for me to bring that energy back down and finish on a very relaxed note with him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the whip for now, work him a little bit on that pole, and hop on him and see how he feels to me compared to the other day. There, he's just a little bit confused about what I want from him, but it's that always that little fear, that worry that causes him to brace. I don't want that anywhere. So I like to work through it that way. Trigger it until I can't trigger it anymore. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. 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 Good boy. Good boy. You okay? Good boy. So here is whenever I come with my legs and I bump on him, and then there's that little transition where I lose that connection I have with him from the flexion. This is where I feel like he tenses up. And this is how I feel like I triggered it last time. So now I feel like I'm triggering it a little bit, definitely taking my time here, because I know how it felt when I did not take my time. But I feel like this pole is giving me a little something to do, a little job, and I feel him starting to relax. He's not really doing it for me, but I feel like we're having a purpose here, and I think that that's helping me out. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. See, now I'm doing movements and things that normally really scared him, but now since he kind of understands a little bit the reason for it, he's not as scared. I feel like I can start to be a little more confident. Good boy, the good boy, good boy. So I don't trust him 100% yet, but I feel like I've made a lot of progress today. Again, just because I've put him in a situation until I couldn't anymore, and I think that that was a breakthrough in his mind, and then giving me a little bit of a purpose, something to do. And I think that that made all the difference into what I could accomplish today. So I will be filming his progress a lot more. So we will see where all this leads, but I'm satisfied with how it went today, and I hope that you got something out of it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. And please give this video a like if you find any value in it. And until the next one, cheers.